This is my unboxing for the June 2015 Little Ivies box. Now this box is $38.95 a month, and it is packed with activities. And I don't think there's actually another children's activity subscription that packs more activities in a single box than Ivy Kids. So if you're looking for something with a lot of stuff, this is the one. It's $38.95 a month. It's for kids 3 to 8. And they break down each activity into Little Ivies and Junior Ivies. So they gear the activity for the little kids, and then they make it a little bit more advanced for the older kids. So the older kids are not going to be bored, and the younger kids are not going to be overwhelmed. So it comes in this box. I did receive this for review purposes. Alright, when you open it up, on the top it has like a little sheet, and it tells you all the activities that comes in the box. This is like their little information card. And then here's everything in the box. Now, this box is geared each month around a specific book. So this month's book is Blueberries for Sal by Robert McCloskey, and it won a Caldecott Honor. And this is kind of just a peek inside the book. And then all these activities are going to be geared around this book and the activities and things that go on in the book. So you read the book first and then complete the activities. There's always a little information bookmark, and this is for parents, and this gives you questions to ask your child about the book to help facilitate the learning. Here is a card. I can share a 20% off coupon code with you to save 20% off your first kit. So I'll link all that down below. Each month, your child will receive a personalized item. So this month, there is a frame. It has my oldest son's name on it. His little head pops out, punches out, and you can put a picture on it. And this is part of My Bear Frame, which is one of the activities in the box. Alright, so there's a lot of some stuff here on top. I'm going to put this to the side, and then I'm just going to open each bag and go through each one and tell you what activities are in here. Now, as I said, there's a lot of activities, so pull up a chair, grab a snack, a drink of water, because this video is going to be a bit longer than my normal ones. And then each activity is kind of broken down in its own little Ziploc bag. Sometimes there's more than one in each bag, but it's kind of broken in. So if you're going to grandma's house or somewhere, you can just kind of grab a bag and go, so they'll have something to do when you get there. And depending on the craft, you might be able to do it in the car. Alright, so this first activity is called Blueberry Preserves and Jar Activity. Alright, so I got all the material. Now, if you look, it's going to tell you what materials you need. And everything that you need is included in this kit. So this tells you everything that you're going to need for this activity, and it's all in the bag. So this talks about, there's a Blueberry Preserves recipe card. And this is an actual recipe that you can do with your child. And as you look at it, you see there's lots of pictures on here. So it's easy for kids to help cook. And I don't know about other people's kids, but my kids love to help me cook. So I'm sure my kids will have fun with this. Okay, so then the next activity is a jar activity. And there's a small, medium, and large jar. You use this blue dotting tool to fill up each jar, and then your child can look and compare each jar and see the differences between small, medium, and large. The next page is the first one. Your child fills up the jar halfway, and then this one they fill it up completely full, and then you can compare the sizes. As you look down here, there is a Little Ivy tip and a Junior Ivy tip, and I'm not going to go through each one of these for every activity just because it will take a long time to do. But for this one, it says, read the directions to your Little Ivy and help him or her understand the meaning of half versus whole. Help your Little Ivy to compare the different jars. The Junior Ivy tip for the older kids says, encourage your Junior Ivy to compare independently the different jars and describe the number of blueberries in each of the jars. Then there's questions to scaffold learning. These are the questions that you can ask your child to help further their learning of each activity. What will the jar look like if it's half full of blueberries? Can you use the daughter to fill the jar halfway? What do you notice about the 3 jars on this board? Which will hold the most blueberries? Which will hold the least? And then at the bottom it tells you the learning goals and developing skills. So for this one it's math and art. So this is what you get for every activity. So this next activity is a blueberry pie recipe and art activity. Enclosed, again, like the preserves, is a blueberry pie recipe. After you make the pie, there is a cardboard circle here. So you use the blue dotting tool, your child dots all over the circle. And then, using the craft sticks, they glue a lattice pattern on the circle to make a blueberry pie as shown. The next activity is called blue modeling clay. They have some blue modeling clay here, a rolling pin, and your child will make blueberries, characters from the story, food, or anything else that they want. And then they can let the clay air dry, so then they can save the creations or put it back in the bag and use it again. The next activity is blueberry bear bread recipe and bear-shaped mold. So they include this little bear-shaped mold, and using the enclosed recipe for blueberry bear bread, your child can make some bread in this cute little mold. There is also a fact sheet in the box all about blueberries, and this just talks a little briefly about how blueberries grow. Alright, the next activity is called Mama Bear and Little Bear. And for this activity, you make two paper bag bears, a mama bear and a baby bear. So here's the big bag and big parts for mama bear. And then there are smaller parts and a small bag for baby bear. And they also include some googly eyes for the face. The next activity is called Feed the Bears, and you'll need the paper bags that you just made, and then the upper and lowercase letter cards. And what you do is you spread the letter cards on the table and mix up the upper and lowercase letters. Sort the letters by placing the uppercase letters in Mama Bear's bag and the lowercase letters in the Baby Bear's bag. And then for older kids, you can have them identify each of the letters. So this is great for kids just entering preschool or kids entering kindergarten to make sure they know all of their letters. The next activity is called Mama Bear Word Game, and you're going to need the Mama Bear bag, the uppercase letter card, and 2 tin pails and blueberries. So here are the tin pails, and then here are the blueberries. And then it says place the uppercase letters in the Mama Bear bag. The player that goes first selects a letter from the bag. The player tries to think of words that begin with the letter sound. For every word that's named, the player can collect a blueberry and put it in his or her pail. For example, if the player selects the letter B and names 3 words that begin with the letter B, they can place 3 blueberries in the pail. When you can't think of any more words, it's the next player's turn. And the next activity is called Blueberry Hunt. For this activity, you need the blueberries and the 2 tin pails again. You scatter and hide the blueberries around the house, and then you go through and try to find all the blueberries, and as you find them, you count them as you put them in the pail. And then the person who collects the most blueberries wins. So this can be for multiple people. The next one's called Blueberry Picking. For this activity, you're going to need the blueberries, the bush, the spinner, and these tweezers. So you spread the blueberries out, and you take turns spinning the spinner, and when it lands on a mama bear, little bear, mother, or sow, the player collects the number of blueberries shown on the spinner. And if it lands on a knocked over pail, the player returns the blueberries to the bush. For an extra challenge, the players can pick up the blueberries off the board with tweezers. And the game continues till all the blueberries have been collected. Whoever collects the most wins. So this is great for fine motor skills, especially using those tweezers. It helps with math because you're going to be working with numbers. It's fun. We have Blueberry Munch. This, you need the tin pails and the blueberries again. 2 players are needed for this game, player 1 and player 2. Player 1 places 10 blueberries in his or her pail, then turns around. While player 1 is not looking, player 2 takes a couple of blueberries out of the pail and pretends to eat them. Player 1 then turns around to discover that some of the blueberries have been eaten. Player 1 has to figure out how many blueberries were taken out of the pail and eaten. And then you can switch roles. So you're going to obviously work with math for this skill. How many blueberries? Next activity, you're going to need the tin pails again, these blueberries, and these number cards. For this activity, you create your own addition problems using the number of cards, tin pails, and blueberries. So you can put 5 in one pail, the addition plus sign, and then 2 in the next pail with the number 2. There's also an equal sign where you can create the number of how many it equals. So this is great, again, practice math skills. The next one's called Kerplink, Kerplank, Kerplunk. And you're going to need the book, tin pail, and blueberries. As you're reading this book, use the blueberries and tin pail to act out parts of the story. Every time Sal adds 3 berries to her pail, you can add 3 blueberries to your pail and say, Kerplink, Kerplink, Kerplunk. Alright, next one is called Where's Little Bear? You're going to need the stuffed little bear, the blueberry dot, and positional cards. Alright, here are the positional cards. So you have on, these punch out, by the way. So there's on top, above, between, under, in front, behind, next to, and inside. So you separate the cards and select a card and place your little bear in the position demonstrated on the card. For example, if under a card is selected, place the little bear under something in the house. And then you just go through each of the cards that way. The last packet. This activity is called Blueberry Hill. You're going to need the Blueberry Hill board, which is this, the paint daughter, the story characters, and a pencil. I don't see the pencil, so that's something that you will need to provide on your own. For this activity, use the Blueberry Paint Daughter to fill in Blueberry Hill with blueberries. Cut out the characters from the story. While rereading the story, your child can use the characters to act out the story of Blueberries for Sal. After retelling the story, your child can then glue the characters to the board. At the bottom of the board, there's a space for your child to write his or her favorite part of the story. That is everything in the box. So hopefully you can see just how much stuff is in this box. And for $38.95, I think it's a fantastic value. I mean, you get all the supplies you need. The only thing you really need in this box is a pencil. That's the only thing that they didn't include. But, I mean, I think everyone has a pencil laying around somewhere. So if you are interested in getting Little Ivy, I will include the link and code down below to save 20%. This is a fantastic box for 3 to 8-year-olds. If you have kids that love activities and they go through activity boxes and you're wondering what I'm going to do for the rest of the month, get a Little Ivy, because this will last you the entire month. I try to do several activities for my review, but it is really hard to get several of them in a short period of time. So you will definitely have enough activities to last well through the month. And many of these things can be played with again and again. The bear, the Play-Doh, the blueberries. There's like tons of activities with these blueberries that your child can do. So they're not going to get bored. And then there's those recipes that your child can cook with you. So I think it's a fantastic box. Well worth the money. If you're interested in signing up, that link and code's below. The full written review is below as well. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.